What's up, everyone? How's it going? UFC 310 has finally arrived, and well, we're doing some fight breakdowns. There's a lot of fights that interest me, so this is gonna be one of my longer fight companion thingy mabobs. If you guys are new around here, be sure to hit a like, subscribe. We're really close to I think we already hit 260, 270. Let's keep going, gang. It's kind of insane. Like I think like 2 weeks ago I was like, guys, we're so close to 250, now we're at 260. But then like I feel like me even saying this is repetitive because I'm always thankful, but I'll always be thankful. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, let's keep going. But anyways, let's get started today's video. The first fight I want to talk about is Chase Hooper versus Clay Guida. I feel like this is kind of a layup for Chase. He's a super heavy favorite in the betting odds. Clay Guida's, a big time vet. I think he has almost like, if not more than 60 fights. Just on his vet, he's been fighting too long. But you'll always be, beaten by Father Time. No one has beaten Father Time. And Chase Hooper, he's been looking pretty good ever since he moved up to lightweight. Grappling, striking, everything's coming together for him. And I expect him to either masterclass bro or finish him in like the first 2 rounds. But yeah, I expect this Chase Hooper all day long. He should get this done, and I'll be very surprised if he doesn't. One of the biggest upsets I've ever seen, and maybe Chase Hooper is not that guy, but he should get this done, and that's what I'm picking for this fight. Next up, we have Michael Chiesa versus Max Griffin. I don't know, Michael Chiesa, you already know how he be. He's hit or miss here and there. Both guys are coming off wins. Odds are slightly just squared towards Max Griffin. I don't really know who to go for this fight, to be honest. I guess it just comes down to who wants it the most. Both guys have had moments in their career when they're like, yeah. If Michael Chiesa goes in there and wants to, prove that he got it type, I think this is his fight to lose. So, just based on that, I'm going with Michael Chiesa. Wouldn't be surprised if he lost, though. The next fight we have is, what's his name? Cody Duran versus Joshua Van. Okay, Joshua Van, he's low-key kind of on the come-up. He's been looking very good ever since he signed to the UFC. His most recent outing against Edgar Chairez, I believe it was on short notice, and won that fight. He was hurting, bro, and then he was getting hurt too, but he clutched it up and won. I like that. I like the grip. I like the tenacity. If he wins this fight, he's gonna be in the rankings. So I think he's gonna win this fight. Hopefully fairly easily. If not, it's a little competitive, but he takes the edge. The next fight we're gonna talk about, Chris Weidman versus Eric Anders. This fight was canceled from the last pay-per-view because Eric Anders got sick or whatever. Chris Weidman, very upset, very sad. He's trying to get his money, they didn't give it to him. Womp womp, little bro, as they say. But as far as the fight, I don't really know too much about Eric Anders. It just says he's a slight favorite here. But you know what? How has Chris Weidman only has 16 wins? Kind of insane. But you know what? I feel like this is just kind of a perfect little retirement fight for Chris. If he goes out there and wins this, he can retire, put this whole thing behind him, and be like, oh, that's that. And I think we'll all be happy for it. So I'm gonna say he's gonna get this done. Round 3, 1-2 eye poke, and get the victory. Namaste. Next fight we're gonna talk about, Randy Brown versus Bryan Battle. Now this is gonna be a super duper awesome fight. I'm very surprised on like early prelims almost. I don't know if it's on the early prelims, but it's like definitely not the last one. This fight is like fight night worthy, you feel me? And trying to think who wins. I think as far as fandom, I'm a more fan of Bryan Battle. He's just that dog. He has a super deep voice. I think it's very cool to listen to. And he had that iconic moment in France talking about, you thought a Frenchie was gonna beat me, and it was just like very awesome aura wise. He has a dog in him. He's been getting better and better. But then Randy Brown is, he's been looking very good too. I think the last time, I forgot who he fought last time, but I remember the dude was having some moments in the grappling, but then he reversed it and started hurting him. Not as entertaining though. In my humble opinion, I think this is a very 50-50 fight. I'm leaning towards Ryan Battle though, because I feel like he has more tenacity and more dog, and he's willing to go in the fire and get things done if he's losing. This guy kind of reminds me of Randy Brown. He reminds me a little bit of Leon Edwards in a sense, where he's like a little bit cautious and technical, as you want to call it, whatever. And I feel like Brian might go after it more than him, and because of that, I think he'll win. Next fight is Movsar Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling, another prelim fight that's very surprising from the prelim. How do I see this fight going? Shoot, man, I don't even know, man. Two boring squiggers going after it. It's kind of hard to go against Movsar here, undefeated, has tested himself against amazing strikers, grapplers, and Diego Lopez. Aljo, second fight, he looked very good again in his other fight, although very boring. Maybe this has the potential to be very boring too. Hopefully not. Maybe 2 boring equals exciting. Winner potentially is next. Nah, no way. I think if these guys win, they gotta fight one more time for a title eliminator against maybe Diego Lopez or something like that. Maybe that's why Diego Lopez hasn't announced a fight. I think the winner of this is probably gonna try to get. They're probably gonna try to schedule him versus Diego Lopez in March. I think when they're going back to Mexico. Dude, I don't know. It's like Funk Master's an old champ, one of the best at bantamweight. Although like not the most exciting, he got the job done. And Movsar, he's undefeated. I'm gonna go with Movsar here. It's kind of hard to pick against him, dude. He's been very boring, but very, tactical, getting stuff done. It's hard to pick against him right now. I'll be happy if Aljo wins, though. Then we're at Vicente Luque versus, I forgot his name, like Tempo Gayambo. Yep, Tempo Gayambo. And Vicente Luque is a very, very fat favorite. And for good reason. The Gambo, I think his most iconic is he's most iconic for crying on the mic and getting a house. I think from The Rock or something like that. Because he was struggling to pay for stuff. Good for him by all means. But when it comes to his fighting, I didn't like how he looked against Nico Price last time. I think he should have looked a lot better, got on the finish. He didn't. And Vicente Luque, even though he's kind of washed up at the moment, I feel like that level of elite, something like never washes off. Skill doesn't go, the body does. And hopefully the skill is enough to get this job done, and I think it will. I think he'll get this job done, and who knows what's next for him now. Another thing we got to think about is that he's been in training camp for Nick Diaz for like 6 months, I think, because he was supposed to fight him in August, and then that fell through, but then they got rescheduled to here, and then that fell through. So bro's been training for a long time, so hopefully he's ready. And now this next one personally excites me. I'm a big fan of Dominic Reyes. I think he's very, very cool. I've been very sad to see his downfall, just lose and lose and lose and lose. It's kind of just the ultimate bipolarity of, almost defeating John Jones and then losing to like literally every single person in the division by KO. But then he finally bounced back. I think in the late summer or midsummer, got an awesome knockout against Justin Jacoby. Very awesome. The title run starts now. And then, I think a lot of people were saying that it makes sense for him to fight Anthony Smith. I agreed, and I really wanted to see that fight, and it got made, and we get to see it this Saturday. I'm expecting him to destroy Anthony Smith. If he doesn't knock him out in the first round, I'll be very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. But, I'll be happy if he wins. And I don't see a single chance for Anthony Smith to win unless he's like a random submission, because he's lying hard, how I be. But yeah, I got Dominic Reyes all day. Nate the Train, baby. Woo! I look like Colorado, dude. This guy's so funny, dude. I was very happy to see when he was announced for the card against Doo Ho Choi, a fan favorite. This is gonna be a very banger fight. I think both guys are gonna go in there and try to knock each other out, and I believe this fight will not go the distance. I'll be very surprised if it does. So as far as who I got winning this one, maybe a couple years ago, Doo Ho Choi, but Nate the Train, time, baby. It's time to hop on the train. Make sure you're on time. I just think he's gonna win this. He has that, you know, rural America, countryman America, Arkansas. I don't think he's from Arkansas. We'll get into that later. But you know, he has that grit to him. You know, I think he should grind out a win, maybe a stoppage. Hopefully a stoppage. I love seeing stoppages. Now we got the Arkansas boy with the camel pants. Bryce Mitchell, first time since last year when he got brutally knocked out. Took some time off to recover, much needed against Kron Gracie. Very rare, most random, you know, fighter to be added here. Haven't seen bro since his very, very disappointing fight last, May? Was it last May? I think it was last May. Dude, if it's just time flies, dude. It's kind of insane to think about that was that long ago. But yeah, Bryce should win this very easily. I think he has better striking. Because people forget, man. People forget. When he was fighting Ilya, he had very good head movement and was getting out the way and tagging Ilya here and there. If I remember correctly, he might have gave Ilya a black eye. We'll have to fact check that. And then the grappling, that's where it should get interesting because, you know, obviously Gracie grappling, and then we got Bryce Mitchell country grappling. Should be very fun to watch. I think it'll be decided on the feet. And, you know, like I said, Bryce got that in abundance. Should have won that very easily. Woo! Now we reached the featured fight. Alexander Volkanov. I don't know why I say Volkanov. Volkanovski was rolling off my tongue. Alexander Volkov versus Cyril Gane. Hey gang, I don't know about y'all, but I like a lot more how Alexander Volkov is looking more than Cyril Gane lately. Cyril Gane fought with like Sergey Spivak, and after that Sergey Spivak like went on to lose to Marcin Tybura, I believe. What an insane, like, it's kind of funny to think about because, you know, we all like to clown on Tybura, but, you know, bro's low-key been winning. He won at UFC 309, so maybe we should put a respect on his name. And, you know, like that was Cyril Gane's last opponent. And what's it called? Volkov, he fought Sergey Pavlovich and schooled him because it's super duper long, and he used that range to full effect, and he controlled and dominated that fight. And I kind of expect more of the same here, you know. He's already fought, like, I believe Sergey is more dangerous than Cyril Gane when it comes to power, you know. Maybe technique wise, maybe Gane has it, but danger wise, Sergey is the most dangerous, and he evaded the danger and even got like combed up in the side. So even though it's a huge heavy underdog, I made a betting video. I'm putting my money on him, and that should be all that needs to be said. Let's go Volkov. Coleman is another interesting one. You know, in a perfect world, we would have seen JDM versus Shavkat main event for interim. But you know what? At first, I was very, very against this. At this point, I'll just take it. And as the time went by, I feel a little bit more excited about it. These guys are both undefeated. You know, undefeated run, you know. Win streak goes along with it. Shavkat has that amazing 100% finish rate. Garry is just looking more and more technically perfect every single fight. He keeps adding to his arsenal, you know, and it's very hard for me to say that because I don't like the guy very much. I think he's a bit of a dweeb, and I don't know if he's a cuck, you know, but like, I don't like how I think my dislike for him started with Neo Magny, because I think Neo Magny is like a very cool guy and deserves our respect, and this bro was like hating on him. But as far as I see the fight going, you guys might hate me for this, but I think Ian Garry is gonna get this done. And it'd be kind of crazy to see like bro school Shavkat, but I see Shavkat as a wrecking ball coming forward, and I see Ian Garry as like a younger wonder boy with more tools in his arsenal. I think we saw when a wonder boy fought Shavkat, bro like could not do nothing stand up, so he had to grapple him, and even there he struggled. Where Ian, you know, even though he kind of struggled against MVP when it came to grappling, where he couldn't get nothing really going, he did like win the fight with the grappling. And then since we have the striking to go with it, I think that's everything you need for a victory against Shavkat. And because of that, I'm picking Ian Garry. I love the money line on him, plus 300. I'll put my money on already. If you guys want to win some, throw it on there too. Don't be surprised, gang. Come back to this video when he wins. Very sad, like, reality, you know, to see Ultimate Aura dude versus Cuckmaster, and that he takes his aura. Wampum, that's the way. the news goes, as Rick would say, I don't know. But yeah, I think Gary's gonna win this. It's gonna shock a lot of people. I feel like this is maybe his Dustin versus Connor moment for him. Maybe not as like significant or as big because this is for title eliminator. But you know what I mean, bro. It's like this is his breakout performance. This is gonna get him his title shot. It'd be crazy in the world to see Ian versus Bilal for a title shot, and maybe even Ian as a champ. But maybe this night takes a step closer to that. I hope Shavkat wins though. He's a very cool guy, and I think he's super cool. You know, nothing against bro, but I just think Ian got it. Main event, we got Pantoja versus Sasakura. I don't know, man. I sense a lot of upsets this night. And even though, like, all the brain cells in my head are telling me that Pantoja's gonna wrestle him and win that way, I just got a feeling that Asakura gonna do some crazy stuff and win. Cause like, if bro's getting a title shot on his debut, he's gotta be some level of special. And when the stars align like that, bro, it's best to watch them before they fade. You feel me? And I'm not gonna be late to this party. That's why like I made a parlay with all these like underdogs in the co-main feature fight and main event. I think they all got it. I wouldn't be surprised if I see Asakura just, you know, set something up, land on what's his name? Oh man, why am I getting like all these names mixed up? I've been recording all day. But like I wouldn't be surprised if just out of nowhere Asakura lands something on Pantoja and like finally cracks his chin, you know. A chin is only good until it goes. We saw that with Max. And maybe this is the guy who does it for him, because he's coming down a weight, you know. And we'll see how that weight cut affects him. But typically, you know, when you go down, you bring your power with you, as long as like, if you get what I mean, you know, bigger dude coming down is more powerful than a little dude coming up. Maybe. Who knows? These are just my random picks. I think he's gonna win. Wouldn't be surprised if Pantoja wins. And hopefully all my underdogs win and I get rich. But that's gonna do it for my picks. If you guys agree with me, let me know. If you guys disagree, let me know. Drop a like. Catch you on the next one. Peace.